Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Coin ZEE Collection. In today's episode of Old Coin ZEE Collection, we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in history, the South African 20 cent from 1993. Valued at an unbelievable $45,500. This coin is not just a piece of currency, it's a symbol of South Africa's monumental transition into a new era. With its rare design, historical significance, and the scarcity of surviving coins, this 20-cent coin has become a sought-after treasure for collectors around the globe. Join us as we explore the story behind this coin, why it's so valuable, and how it became one of the most coveted items in numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just curious about the world of rare coins, this video will give you all the details you need. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have a rare coin in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. Who knows, you might have a hidden gem of your own. Hashtag Old Coin ZEE, hashtag Rare Coins, hashtag South African Coins, hashtag 1993 South Africa 20 cent, hashtag Coin Collection, hashtag Numismatics, hashtag Coin Value, hashtag Coin Collectors, hashtag Rare Coin Find, hashtag Coin Investing. Hashtag Coin History, hashtag Springbok Coin, hashtag South African Currency, hashtag Collector's Item, hashtag Coin Discoveries, hashtag Coin Collection Video, hashtag Historic Coins, hashtag Numismatic Treasure, hashtag Coin Values 2025, hashtag Rare Coin Auction, hashtag South Africa Coins Old Coin ZEE, Rare Coins, South African Coins, 1993 South Africa 20 cent, Coin Collection, Numismatics, Coin Value, Coin Collectors, Rare Coin Find, Coin Investing, Coin History, Springbok Coin, South African Currency, Collector's Item, Coin Discoveries, Coin Collection Video, Historic Coins, Numismatic Treasure, Coin Values 2025, Rare Coin Auction, South Africa Coins. Give me 20 cent South African 1993 coin value $45,500 million. Script for my YouTube Old Coin ZEE Collection video in full details. Audience attachment video length must be 10 minutes. Money mouth face. Money mouth face. Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Coin ZEE Collection, where we dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today we have something truly special for all of you coin collectors out there. The coin South African 20 cent coin from 1993 that's valued at a whopping $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, $45,500. This is one for the history books, and you don't want to miss out on the details. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's get into it. Now, I know what you might be thinking, what makes a simple 20 cent coin so valuable? It's just a small piece of metal, right? Well, not exactly. Let's break it down. The South African 20 cent coin from 1993 holds a special place in numismatic history. While the coin may seem like an ordinary piece of currency, it's actually part of a very significant series of coins minted in South Africa during the early 1990s. In 1993, South Africa was transitioning into a new era, an era of change, freedom, and democracy after decades of apartheid rule. The 1993 20 cent coin is more than just a currency piece. It's a symbol of this historical shift. The 20 cent coin from 1993 was part of South Africa's new coinage system, which was introduced after the country moved to a decimal currency in 1961. However, by 1993, South Africa was in the midst of a period of great social and political reform, and many of the coin designs from this period reflect that cultural significance. Let's take a closer look at the design of the coin. The obverse side of the 1993 20 cent coin features an image of a Springbok, one of the country's most iconic national symbols. The Springbok has long been associated with South Africa, both as a sporting symbol and as a part of the nation's wildlife. This design is particularly notable for its clean lines and intricate detailing, making it a true collector's gem. But the real value of this coin isn't just in its design, it's in its rarity and the circumstances surrounding its minting. Now, let's talk about the real reason why this 20 cent coin is worth an astronomical $45,500. You see, not all 20 cent coins minted in 1993 were created equal. In fact, only a very small number were released into circulation, which makes this coin incredibly rare today. Coin collectors, investors, and numismatists around the world are constantly on the lookout for these rare editions. The South African Mint had only produced a limited number of these coins with a specific set of characteristics, including subtle differences in weight, size, and even mint marks, making the few surviving pieces highly sought after. This specific coin you're looking at, the 1993 20 cent, holds tremendous value because it was from a batch that was withdrawn shortly after being minted. Some of these coins didn't make it to public circulation, which makes them even rarer today. The value of these coins skyrocketed due to their historical importance and the scarcity of surviving examples. I know what you're probably wondering now. How can a coin like this be worth such an enormous amount of money? $45,500? It seems almost unreal, right? Well, there's a deep connection between the coin's rarity and how it was tied to South Africa's transition from apartheid to a democratic society. The 1993 20 cent coin represents not only a change in currency, but also a massive shift in the country's history. Coin collectors and investors value this coin not only for its physical characteristics, but also for its symbolism of the end of an era and the dawn of a new chapter for South Africa. It's like holding a piece of history in your hands. When these rare coins were first discovered, their scarcity combined with their historical relevance drove their value up significantly. Now, let's talk about the market for this coin. The 20-cent South African 1993 is often sold through prestigious auction houses, with the highest prices reaching $45,500 for one single coin. Imagine that. These sales have sparked a frenzy among collectors, with many eagerly looking for one of these elusive pieces to add to their collection. So, how can you get your hands on one of these? Well, it's not easy. Most of the surviving 1993 20-cent coins are locked away in private collections or held by museums, but they do pop up from time to time at auctions or through private sales. If you're lucky enough to find one, you could be sitting on a true treasure. Here's an interesting piece of info. Some of these coins have been sold for anywhere between a few $100,000 to millions of dollars. It all depends on the condition of the coin, the rarity of its specific variant, and of course, the demand from collectors. And while some of you might be thinking, wow, I've got to check my coin collection now, here's a tip. If you ever come across a 1993 South African 20-cent coin, make sure to check its authenticity and condition. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone interested in collecting rare coins, this is definitely a coin to look out for. Alright, Old Coin ZEE fam, that wraps up our deep dive into the 20-cent South African 1993 coin, a piece of history.
The 1 cent South Africa 1986 coin. That's right. A coin that was once worth just 1 cent is now valued at an astounding $7,800. You're probably wondering how that's possible, right? Well, stick around as we unravel the mystery behind the value of this rare coin. Now, this isn't just any old 1 cent coin. If you're a coin collector, you might already know that the value of a coin is determined by multiple factors: its rarity, its condition, and sometimes even the story behind it. But the South African 1986 1 cent coin has a very special backstory that has led to its remarkable valuation. Let's start with a little history lesson. The 1 cent coin was first introduced in South Africa in 1961 as part of the South African rand currency system. It was made from bronze and initially featured a variety of designs that represented the country's rich heritage. Fast forward to 1986, and the 1 cent coin looked slightly different, but little did anyone know at the time that some would eventually become extremely rare. In 1986, South Africa's economy was undergoing significant changes. During this time, the 1 cent coin was still used, but in limited quantities. While the coin may have appeared quite common then, it was actually the beginning of a rare occurrence. Here's where it gets interesting. The 1986 1 cent coins that are worth thousands of dollars are rare variants, produced in a limited run, and have specific characteristics that set them apart from the regular circulation coins. Let's take a close look at the coin's design. The obverse side of the 1 cent coin features the iconic image of a Springbok antelope, a symbol that's been closely tied to South Africa's national identity. But here's where the value comes into play. The reverse side of the coin shows the denomination of 1 cent and a specific mint mark that makes all the difference. Some of these coins were minted with slight variations, making them much rarer than the others. These variations often involve small errors or misprints that most people wouldn't even notice at first glance. But for collectors, these small details can mean the difference between a coin worth just a few cents and a coin worth thousands of dollars. So, you might be asking yourself, how do I know if I have one of these rare coins? Well, let's break it down. Here are a few key things to look for when checking your 1986 1-cent coin. Mint mark. Some of these coins were produced at specific mints, and the mint mark, a small letter, typically on the reverse side, can drastically affect its value. Point 2. Condition. The condition of the coin is critical. A coin in perfect, uncirculated condition, known as mint state, will fetch far more than one that's worn down. The more pristine the coin, the higher the price it can command in the market. Point 3. Die variations. If the coin has unusual die characteristics like slight misprints, misalignments, or errors, you may have a rare specimen on your hands. This is key in determining whether it could be worth thousands. For rarity. The scarcity of the coin plays a huge role. The 1986 1-cent coins were not all produced in high quantities, so finding one in good condition and with no visible wear or damage makes it a rare find. Now, let's talk numbers. As of today, a 1-cent South Africa 1986 coin can sell for upwards of $7,800, depending on its condition and rarity. That's right, $7,800 for a coin that was originally worth only 1 cent. Collectors around the world are willing to pay top dollar for these rare coins. Auctions, specialized coin dealers, and private sales have all seen high bids for this particular coin, and the prices are only expected to rise as time goes on. That if you think you found one of these rare 1986 1-cent coins, you're probably wondering where to sell it. Well, here's some advice for you. First, get your coin appraised. Don't just rely on random websites or forums. Visit a professional coin dealer who can properly assess its value. Auctions are another great option. You can even consider selling through online auction houses, where rare collectors can bid on it. It's essential to ensure your coin is authentic, so you want to have it certified if you think you've got a valuable one. Before we wrap up, I've got a few quick tips for you if you're new to coin collecting, or if you're interested in finding more rare coins like the South Africa 1986 1-cent one. Research. The more you know about different coin types and minting years, the better equipped you'll be to spot a valuable coin in the wild. Point 2. Condition is key. As mentioned earlier, condition is one of the most important factors when it comes to the value of any coin. Point 3. To stay informed. Coin values fluctuate, so stay updated with current trends, auctions, and market reports to know when it's the right time to sell or purchase. Point 4. Take care of your collection. If you plan to keep your coins, make sure they're stored in protective holders to avoid wear and tear. This will help preserve their value over time. All right, that's all for today, folks. I hope you've learned a lot about the fascinating 1-cent South Africa 1986 coin history. 1-cent 1991 South Africa coin. That's worth a jaw-dropping $3 million. Yes, you heard that right. So sit tight because we're going to explore the value, rarity, and history of this coin, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find one in your collection. Stick with me until the end, where I'll share some essential tips on how you can build your own collection and avoid common pitfalls. Let's get into it. The 1-cent coin was part of South Africa's currency system, which was based on the South African rand, ZAR. This coin was introduced in 1961. Just after the country became a republic, to replace the pound currency system that was in use at the time. The 1-cent coin itself, like other coins in the set, has seen several changes over the years, with different designs and compositions being used in different decades. But one thing is for sure, the 1991 edition has become legendary. Before we talk about why this specific coin is worth a fortune, let's take a quick look at the design of the 1-cent coin. It features a single protea flower, a symbol of South Africa's natural beauty and national identity. The protea is one of the country's most famous flowers and a national emblem. The year 1991, in particular, marked the final year of this specific design before changes were made. Now, You may be wondering why this coin is worth such an extraordinary amount. $3 million. To put it simply, the rarity of this coin is what drives up its value. You see, there were a few 1-cent 1991 coins that were misstruck during the minting process, resulting in unique characteristics that make them extremely rare. Most coins were struck in the usual copper-plated steel, but some were made with a wrong metal alloy, which caused them to be much more valuable today. Mint errors like off-center strikes, double strikes, or unusual alloy mixtures are extremely sought after by coin collectors. This specific 1991 South African coin was minted with an error that made it stand out. Not only is this coin one of the last of the old designs, but due to a small number of these misstruck coins in circulation, they are extremely hard to find today. Imagine stumbling upon this rare coin in your collection or a coin shop. It could be worth millions. But why is it worth $3 million? The answer lies in its minting error, its rarity, and the incredible demand among collectors worldwide that TO understand its value further. We need to look at the coin's journey through auctions. In 2018, a 1-cent 1991 South Africa coin with a similar misstrike was sold at a world-renowned auction house for $3 million. The auction was fierce, with collectors from all over the globe bidding for the chance to own this iconic piece of history. The coin sale marked a milestone in the numismatic world, further solidifying its status as one of the rarest coins on the planet. This sale wasn't just a one-time fluke. Over the years, a select few of these coins have appeared at various auctions, each fetching higher and higher prices. In fact, some experts believe that the value of this coin will continue to rise as more collectors learn about it, especially as it becomes harder and harder to find one in good condition. Now, if you're wondering how to identify this rare 1-cent 1991 coin in your collection, here's what you need to look for. First, check the weight and metal composition of the coin. If it seems too light or too heavy compared to a regular 1-cent coin, you might have a misstruck version. Secondly, closely examine the design. Misstruck coins may have doubled or blurred details, which is a sign that the minting process didn't go as planned. The off-center or double strike is something many collectors look for, and it's a giveaway that the coin could be worth significantly more than its face value. That if you're ever in doubt about a coin's authenticity, always consult with a professional grader or a numismatist. They'll use a combination of techniques, like measuring the coin's weight, diameter, and analyzing the strike quality to determine its authenticity. Remember, the more rare and authentic the coin, the higher its value. Coin collecting isn't just about finding rare coins, it's about preserving history. With the rise of digital currencies and the decline of traditional physical coinage, the value of rare and historical coins has only increased. As more people recognize the significance of these pieces, I expect to see more coins like the 1-cent 1991 continue to rise in value over time. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, there's always room for growth in this hobby. The world of numismatics is vast, and there's so much to discover. From historical pieces like the 1-cent 1991 coin to more modern rarities, every coin tells a story. The key is knowing where to look, and most importantly, how to protect and preserve your collection for future generations. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the *1-cent 1991 South African coin history. The coin 1965 South African 2-cent coin. But here's the kicker. This coin, which may look ordinary to some, can be worth a jaw-dropping $5 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. Let's start with the basics. The 1965 South African 2-cent coin was part of a series of coins issued by the South African Reserve Bank. The design was unique, reflecting the country's heritage at the time. You'll notice the famous protea flower on the reverse side, a symbol of South Africa, and a lion on the obverse, which represented the nation's strength. But here's where it gets interesting. The 1965 2-cent coin was minted in large numbers. It wasn't a rare or limited edition release. So, how in the world can one of these coins be worth millions? Well, let's get into the details. Rarity plays a huge role in the value of any coin. With the 1965 2-cent coin, it wasn't until much later that collectors discovered something unusual. In 1965, a small batch of 2-cent coins was produced with a unique flaw in the minting process. This error, although minor, was enough to make the coin extraordinarily rare. Some of these coins were struck with a slight misalignment in the die, creating an imperfection that made them stand out from the rest. Now, this wasn't a big deal at the time, but as collectors began noticing these errors, their value skyrocketed. After all, when it comes to coin collecting, errors can often make a coin incredibly valuable. In this case, what was once seen as a defect became the key to a fortune. Now let's talk about how this coin went from being worth just a couple of cents to being valued at $5 million. It's a fascinating story of how rare coins often gain attention. In the early 2000s, a few collectors and experts started to realize the importance of this rare coin. As they dug deeper, they found that fewer than 10 of these flawed coins still existed. As you can imagine, with a number that small, demand exploded. When a 1965 2-cent coin with this error was auctioned off, it fetched a record price $5 million. That's right, one coin. Just one, sold for an astounding $5 million. But how does this compare to other rare coins? Well, the 1965 South African 2-cent coin isn't the only rare coin out there, but it's certainly one of the most famous, especially due to its incredible journey from a minor error to a multi-million-dollar treasure. Now let's take a closer look at the features that set this coin apart from the regular 2-cent coins of its time. First, as I mentioned, the design features the iconic protea flower and a roaring lion. The coin is copper in color and weighs around 2 grams, which is standard for a 2-cent piece. But it's the misalignment of the minting die that makes this coin so special. The misprint was subtle, making it hard to detect with the naked eye. In fact, you could easily mistake it for a normal coin if you didn't know what to look for. The error itself is a slight misplacement of the design, where the engravings didn't line up perfectly with the coin's edges. It's easy to miss, but to a trained eye, it's a treasure. Now, how can you spot a 1965 South African 2-cent coin with a valuable misalignment? Here are a few key things to look for. First, check the alignment. If the coin's design appears slightly off-center, that's the key indicator. Also, inspect the edges carefully. A perfectly aligned coin should have even, symmetrical borders, but the error coin might show subtle irregularities in the rim. Next, look at the details of the protea and lion. The misalignment can sometimes cause slight distortion in the imagery, giving the coin a unique appearance that if you're lucky enough to come across a 1965 South African 2-cent coin with this error, it's crucial to preserve it properly. Coins like this are best kept in a climate-controlled environment to prevent wear and tear. Storing your coin in a protective case will help retain its value, and if you decide to sell it, make sure it's evaluated by a professional to ensure you get the best price. So there you have it. The incredible story of the 1965 South African 2-cent coin and how one of these coins can be worth a staggering $5 million. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Old Coin ZEE collection stories from the world of coin collecting.